quick
Straight
turnaround,
hobby.
but
Yeah.
respect to them. Because if I'm struggling to like calm down from it, I dread to think what they're like. I will say though, that kind of long game for Vici, when you lose at the end, is so mentally draining. I almost think that was their big chance to like take a massive step up in this series and say, we've got this now. And if you lose a long game like that, especially when it was so back and forth, you have to be like, whoa, okay, this is okay. Just how do you reset from that game one when you lose? Right, it's impossible.
No idea. Hope that this one goes better and just try to stay focused. They banned the Rubik, like
So
and that's hoping that LGD don't ban the Magnus, so they'll take it themselves.
Yeah, I think so. I would
assume that's how it's gonna go.
Yeah, that would be the way that I look at it as well. I think they're trying to say to them, look, we want this mag. What are you going to do about it? And LGD don't fall for it. They say, well, take the mag then. We don't care. We'll play against it anyway.
We'll just take techies. It's okay. You guys want to ban Rubik? You forget who Jinkyu is? He plays everything. He literally does everything. It's kind of wild. But Vici, now they have the opportunity to pick up Omni Knight too, so they can go like Magnus Omni. Right?
Yeah, they could.
Oh,
they take the Wisp.
They take the Wisp. I was so confident in saying Magnus.
We've seen DY play at this tournament though, right? I think.
Yeah, we definitely have, for sure. And now LGD, thanks for banning the Rubik, Vici. We'll take the Magnus. Wow. And now this is where you just go RP on all 5. You skewer them back into green bombs, the remote mines, if you will, and just get a full team wipe casually on Jinkyu.
I think Face the Void being in the pool here is a big deal, though. Yeah, okay.
And there
Vici
it is.
Take it, because I think if you give away Void Mag, you're already in trouble.
Oh, yeah. And this is seeming like a hero that is going to be heavily contested throughout this series. And now they go Venge. With the Void pick, though, I don't want to harp on it, but now Erica is 0-4 against LGD. His only 4 losses on this hero in 10 games come against LGD. So can he break the curse? I want to see him break the curse because I want 5 games. So I would appreciate it. But now Venge picked up for LGD, and that should be Innocence on it. But we could see Faith Beyond play that Venge. We could see Faith Beyond play the Magnus. Who knows? We could see Jinkyu play the Magnus. LGD at this point are just there to surprise us.
I think it's most likely going to be a mid, nothing to say mag, I'd argue. I think Faith Beyond can play it, but we'll see what they decide to go with. I think, again, they could flex the Venge between Faith Beyond and between Innocence as well on the 3 and 5. I think there's nothing to say played it this tournament as well. There was somebody that played mid-Venge. I think it was LGD.
I could take a look very quickly.
I'm like 90% sure. And someone definitely played it.
I'll give you that answer in just a second. Morphling getting banned. Batrider, Phoenix banned, so they don't have the Chrono Supernova combo anymore. Because for the most part, like, I know Vici ended up losing that game, but that was probably the closest game between these two teams we've seen since the inception of the new lineups.
By far, as well. And that's why I don't know how to feel about this game 2 with Vici overall, because I wasn't so confident with them before. But in this game 2, they actually showed that they could like play against LGD and play well against them. Yeah. But then at the same time, after a game like that, like we've mentioned, how do you recover from it mentally?
Yeah.
So there's so many things to think about here. But LGD definitely massively in the driving seat, being the favourites and also being 1-0 up here. Vici going to have to win 3 out of the next 4 games if they want to win, which, when you say it out loud...
definitely does not seem like a lot of confidence behind it. But anything can happen. By the way, I think the one game LGD did play the Venge this event, it was on Nothing to Say.
All right, okay, so it was... Yeah.
It was Drow, Venge, Axe, Wisp, Elder Titan.
Was that against...
And that was when he was going for the Manta on the Axe.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, that was against Vici. They won in 22 minutes and 45 seconds, 21-6 against Erica's Faceless Void. So game 1, we go from a barn burner on the big court to techies I mean, the best of 5, we're 2 games in, and we've got everything. We've got everything.
Oh, I love it so much. Do you know what? I wish people could have seen me after we finished that game 1 and went off cams. I literally just laid back in my chair, and I was just smiling because I was like, "Holy moly, I love Dota 2!" Like that game was so good. And when those games happen, it always just makes you think about how lucky we are sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. And now we get this game where we get to say again how lucky we are with techies. I don't know if that's the vocabulary you're going to use, but for me, I'm going to use that. And the Twitch chat viewers at home are certainly going to use that vocabulary because they love seeing techies. I can see in chat right now the word techies is written 10 times. It's exciting.
Techies, please, bless RNG, bring techies. Yeah, like everybody's going to be so excited when it comes up.
They're going to hear the explosion. They're going to hear the name techies, and everybody's going to lose their mind. And so, it's going to be great.
Obviously, with the Magnus, though, as well, the techies goes up in value because we could see some really great skewer memes this game into mines, which I'm really excited about.
Ooh, Earth Spirit, a hero we have not seen a lot of, but a hero that PYW does play very impressively.
Yeah,
so I'm excited for it.
I don't mind this hero. I think it's really good. PYW is very good at this hero, but we haven't seen it in a while. No. And I worry for them if this is their support duo on the Earth Spirit and the Wisp. They're really not the strongest lane supports, which might be a problem. Especially when you're playing against this techies. Like, we've seen how greedy Jinkyu can be on this hero with, like, stacking camps and taking them things. Hang on, I know, I see that face. But if they can't punish him, and they can't... Do you remember we had this conversation before about techies that if you don't pick this strong laning support, the techies is much harder to punish?
Yeah.
Because then you can't bully the 3 particularly well.
Yeah.
Like, what does Mac... If Mac's playing against Wisp Void, I'm sure he doesn't really care. Like, if his techies is just off jungling and, like, doing more efficient things.
And then that's what we see from Jinkyu on the techies all the time, is Faith Beyond takes over his lane, does what he can to make sure that he survives. He may not come out with a lot of farm, but it allows Jinkyu to go into the jungle, back up, stack camps, and efficiently farm them. And all of a sudden, he's just got 20,000 net worth.
I will say as well, the dire side techies feels a lot stronger than Raiden, I think. With how you're able to farm. You know, you can stack the ancient camp for your team and then stack the big camp that you can take for yourself. And then if you play dire top jungle, you can stack the medium camp and the big camp at the same time and then take them both with one set of mine when you stack them. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Timber, I want to say one thing about this Terrorblade. We haven't seen it in 4 days. It's been played a total of 10 times in the event. It's only won 3 times. That's it. It feels like we always talk about how this hero is so strong, and we've seen it go off the rails, but it hasn't been winning this event. It's only won 3 times. It seems insane, right?
It does, yeah. Okay, so the way I look at this game at the moment for Vici is that this Terrorblade, the Timbersaw now is going to put massive pressure on the map because the Venge techies can't really do anything to him for the first 20 minutes of the game, right? So wherever this Timbersaw goes across the map, LGD basically can't deal with it with the 4 heroes they have right now. And it's going to be really important for Vici to play around this hero to take as many buildings as they can, as quickly as they can. But then for Vici, imagine trying to go high ground against Mag, Venge, techies. At some point in this game, with the heroes that they have, they have to hit tier 3 tower speak up. And
that sounds like a thing. So I'm going to say something that is probably going to be criticized by chat. I don't know if it's going to be criticized by you. But what if you put the Timber mid and throw Elder Titan in the 3 position? Because we've seen the Elder Titan up against this Terrorblade do so much with the natural order. I think a lot of the games that we've seen Terrorblade in, we've seen him go up against the Elder Titan and just die in 2 shots.
I think they've picked the Timber to deal with this TB Venge lane, though. Like that's the reason they picked it, because they know the Venge TB can't deal with it. Like, especially when Timber hits level 3, that hero doesn't die anymore in that lane. Like, it's absolutely fine. So they could, but I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah.
Especially when you'd be putting the Timber mid blind in a matchup he doesn't know. Whereas you know this TB is going to be safe lane.
Could you potentially throw the Elder Titan mid? Doesn't matter anyway. They go to the Queen of Pain. So mobility, a pretty strong 6. The team fight's there for Vici. And like you said, if they can't punish this Timber Saw, we've seen Timber go off the rails. We've seen just a domination. I think it was, Chalice who was playing the Timber?
Yes, yeah, for eHome.
Yeah.
And so the other reason why this Timber pick is good is because it's going to free up the Earth Spirit to rotate across the map. So we talked about having somebody to be able to find Xingqiu in this jungle and properly punish him early on. They might be able to do that now because the Earth Spirit won't be needed in the offlane as much as potentially with other offlaners. I like the Queen of Pain pick though. I mean, Ori plays this hero really well.
Viper. Wow.
Oh
boy.
I feel like that's a really big banning mistake. That if you're planning on picking Queen of Pain last and you have a Timber on your team, but you don't ban Viper.
I think they were assuming that Nothing to Say was going to play the Magnus.
But will they not be kicking themselves though now on Vici? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's a really good Viper game. And now they actually have a way of dealing with the Timber. It gives them good wave clear, which they're lacking at the moment as well on the Viper. It's just like a perfect last pick for LGD.
Wow. Yeah, we have seen Viper banned last phase quite a bit, actually. I think this might even be the first time he's made it through into a pick, I want to say. He got picked once. Oh, no, sorry. That was with a Terrorblade in the game. He got picked once.
We've talked about, though, that when XM plays this mid with Queen of Pain, for example, when he used to play for Cedic and stuff, what were the two heroes they banned? First phase, it was Viper Puck.
Yep.
So this lane is so hard for not really hard for Queen of Pain, but it's a problem. And I liked Vici's draft last game, but I think this time, this Viper last pick throws a massive spanner in the works. If they don't deal with it early on, which they might be able to because the Earth Spirit could rotate mid with the Queen of Pain, they could get some early kills, then maybe that will help. But otherwise, yeah, if this game goes later and later, I especially struggle to see how Vici are ever going high ground.
And just the stats on that Viper, he has in fact been picked up twice. He's won both games, banned 15 times. So yeah, we've seen him prioritized in terms of banning, but Viper gets picked up here, and he was played by LGD once and eHome the other time. It was that LGD game 12 days ago at this point where they played up against SAG. They went Morphling, Viper, Bloodseeker, Skywrath, Clockwork. That is a disgusting lineup. And this lineup from LGD, I'm trying to see how Vici are going to be able to handle it. We talked about how the Timbersaw is supposed to go off early. Does he still have that opportunity to do so with the Viper in the game?
I think he does, for sure. It's not a free Viper against Timber, he's definitely going to kill him every single time on the Viper. Yeah. But it just makes Timber's game a lot harder than it potentially could have been. I will say that LGD's draft is really greedy. But my problem is Vici have to punish the greed at some point, which they can do with really active heroes. But again, the big contention is high ground.
Yeah. So we'll see how Faith Beyond plays this Magnus. Xingqiu on the Techies, of course. That leaves Innocence to play the Venge. Mid Nothing to Say on the Viper. And safe lane Ame TB. And then for Vici, of course, Erica back on the Faceless Void, trying to not go 0-5 on this Void up against LGD since the inception of these two new rosters. Ori will be on the Queen of Pain, of course. PYW on the Earth Spirit. That leaving DY on the Wisp. And finally, Old 11 on the Timbersaw. So Quap, I think, is a big factor here. We'll see how well Ori does. I'm interested to see how he does in this lane.
Yeah, I assume he doesn't level Shadow Strike. I mean, that tends to be the standard against the Viper. You go 0-2-4 most of the time. But he might get a value point in it just to force out the Corrosive Skin at level 1.
The battle begins.
Ooh, Ame steals a ring away from Old 11. Ooh. So it's 2 for 2. Oh, no, PYW stole a... right, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it ends up being 2 apiece.
Both teams getting a little bit sneaky.
I almost want to take an eye on Xingqiu, because I want to know how he's going to play
the mid lane.
This with... Ooh, Nothing to Say, in some trouble. PYW's made the rotation with Ori. Can they get this first blood? He's low. He did take Shadow Strike, and they will get the kill. Ori gets first blood. That's massive.
This is really hard for Viper now, though, because when he TPs back to this mid lane, he has to be so much more careful than he would have liked. Our PYW is rotating top.
Stun on the old 11. Now the rolling boulder. Innocence, he's been caught. Timber chain across. Innocence, he might die here. And another kill for Vici. Meanwhile, though, back over mid, Ori taking a lot of damage to the early poison attack of Nothing to Say. They're really moving around the map well. We talked about PYW. Plays this hero aggressive, plays this hero well.
Are they actually just aggro tri-laning? And they're going to put the Void in 1v1? Well, I say that. I mean, Techies is just going to jungle, right? But
well, that's what I wanted to talk about, because this is a lane where I think there's a lot of kill potential with Skewer into Mine.
Oh, Innocence again. He's in trouble. There's an Orb of Venom on the Earth Spirit.
Yeah, they had the Boulder Smash. They slow him up. One more shot. DY gets the kill. Now 3-0 for Vici. They did use Blast Off bottom on the Faceless Void. Jinkyu trying to get some of these neutrals. Hitting for 38 damage. It's hard to time it.
You see him there. He's going to stack the small camp so he can mine it up and take it for himself.
Keep your hands to yourself.
They do also have swap to bombs. Oh my god. The Techies just has, like, assists all over the place.
Oh, the Wisp comes over and takes some of the XP, though. Oh, that's really savage in Q. He just committed 3 mines for that. I was going to call them landmines. That's not what they're called.
Oh. Yeah, he just does not have the damage to get that right. So, Erica's 14-0. They do bring DY over. Guess that does end the tri-lane there, but Old 11, he's level 2, and he's being left to his own accord. They've got PYW over mid, so now they're leaving the Timbersaw by himself. Is that okay once he gets like level 3 or 4?
As soon as he's about to hit level 3, then he's absolutely fine. He's not dying anymore.
PYW very short on that rolling boulder. Like, oddly short. Jinkyu, he's got Blast Off again. He's about to hit that level 3. Wonder how early on he's going to go for the Stasis Trap as well. We've seen a lot of that from him.
I think he does it at level 4. Personally, I think at this point you only get 1 point in Blast Off this game because you can't put the amount of pressure down that you want to be able to here. So now you get the second point in Proximity Mine. The damage doubles from 200 to 400. So this is the point, I think, where you start to go and looking at stack camps. Jinkyu
in trouble, and he's in between it all. Will deny himself though with the Blast Off. Not bad, but you can see Vici, they're putting the pressure on with these, with these two heroes. The support's actually doing work, and PYW, of course, laying on the pressure. They're going back over towards mid. They want to look for Nothing to Say and secure this 4-minute room, which is bottom and available there for Ori. The rolling boulder comes in, another toxin down, the wave of terror, boulder smash, pushing back Nothing to Say. They've got the magic missile onto the Earth Spirit. Ori, he blinks over to the side, picks up the haste rune, and fills up the bottle.
Oh, the miss.
takes a lot of damage, and they still end up surviving. He's got a salve for himself, which he will pop. So, Magnus.
Oh, they've blocked the big camp in the bot dire jungle.
Oh, that's
wow,
really important. And they've been watching Jinkyu a lot to do that.
That's really, yeah, they understand. But this is what I mean, though, that you don't want to ban the techies. If you've prepared for it properly, you want to try and break it. And the game started relatively well for them. I mean, Ori's having a pretty difficult time mid lane, but this is a Queen of Pain against the Viper. You know, for Ori, it's going to be more about the rotations he can make when he hits his level 6. But the level difference between these two heroes right now, even after the first run at the beginning, Viper's a whole level ahead.
11 under the tower, and they've got PYW, Boulder Smash, Ame in trouble. He's left by himself. Wave of Terror, finally, Innocence coming in, but the Timber Chain, he's in the trees, he's in trouble. Ori makes the rotation, they'll go after Innocence. They'll find themselves a second, so Old 11 gets one, Ori gets the other. 2 more kills for Vici, it's 5-0.
Yeah, and they have the catapult wave top now as well. You see DY overcharges up the catapult here. They really want to take this tower.
Is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under
Catapult
attack.
hitting pretty quick. This is potentially the tier 1 going down, and what we talked about in terms of early game, where they may not be
Dire's
able
top
to
tower is under
do
attack.
much against this Timbersaw. And because of the fact that they have that block and
Dire's top tower
put that
has
pressure on
fallen.
bottom, Jinkyu, he's left to try and farm here in the top end of the jungle. So we'll see how well he does that. He's actually in lane.
Yeah, this is probably the most difficult time we've seen Jinkyu have on techies. Like, a lot of other teams feel like they haven't prepared properly for it, but Vici, this game, they've seemed to have understood exactly how they wanted to play. Like, don't bring a support down at level 1. Don't let him have this extra effectiveness from blast off in terms of like forcing regen and things. Let the Void just 1v1. Block his camps in the bot jungle. And then run at their safe lane because they understand this techies can't fight early on. And they're going to keep up the pressure on Ame here.
Ooh, PYW missed it, but now they've got themselves the Boulder Smash. Sonic Wave blows up Ame. Blast off to get a kill there. As PYW drops the right clicks in onto this Wisp. RP gets used. It's on old 11. We've got a mine to follow it up. And the skewer, so that mine damage is
Radiant's courier
massive
has been
and
killed.
kills old 11. That's a big giveaway from Vici, despite the fact that they got the kill into the Terrorblade.
A huge kill. The Timbersaw one is the biggest for me. We have to remember, though, that in the same time in this bot lane, Erica just freely farming away, having a really nice time. And as great as that fight is for LGD, Ame's the one that dies first. So, unfortunate for him. But it's exactly what Vici would have hoped for if they had to choose anybody to die.
Yeah. They are continuing to make his game very difficult. He sits here just to level 5. Does this force him into an early point into the Sunder? No. I already get that question answered. Conjure Image gets that level 3. So game sitting even. It was
Middle tower is
a lot of
under
kills
attack.
early on for Vici, but Erica still continuing to have a good time over bottom. He sits top of the net worth. Viper a close second, going Rod of Atos for this first item, trying to get that extra bit of control for the side of LGD.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Stack being farmed here by Ori.
Yeah.
He gets 3 neutrals to drop on that stack. So he'll keep the Keen Optic. He'll send a few back. This, like we said, has not been the best game so far for Jinkyu. And he can't even farm the creep wave because old 11 takes out the mine.
I think PYW is really impressed me on the Earth Spirit, though, so far.
Yep.
Will they smoke up on LGD? They tried to stack a camp while they're smoked. Unfortunately, that's not going to work. Oh, this Timber.
Might be in trouble. Magic Missile, and there's the Nether Toxin with the silence. Jinkyu gets the kill. So Timbersaw was doing a good job, put the pressure onto the tier 2 tower, but eventually loses his life, and now we take a look over at TB, who's trying to farm this Ancient stack, this 3 stack for him.
I do feel like, though, that they should be playing with the Timber if he's pressuring up here, right? Oh, Chrono.
Chrono
Magnus.
use. Kill. Ooh, RP on the 3. Skewer back. Faith Beyond. He gets chronoed, and he'll just leave. He uses the... I say just leave, but he did use the RP. And now, oh, Sonic Wave. I say just leave. Or he goes in and goes past the tier 1 tower to Sonic Wave and kill him.
Yeah, they had vision up on the high ground, so they knew exactly where he was that whole time. Easy enough to chase him down. He didn't. I don't know if he had TP at the time or not, but even then, I don't think it makes a difference.
Dire's bottom tower is
Now
under
PYW
attack.
sitting level 6, and all of a sudden, Vici, they have a 2k net worth lead. They're doing a very good job at the moment. Continue to be impressed, especially specifically by Ori, but that's not a surprise.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Faith Beyond now without RP. He's going into that Blink Dagger. Viper, like we said, going Rod of Atos. He's very close to that as he farms a stack.
There's so many little mud golems that are just running around.
Radiant structures are
This is an
fortified.
interesting spot to see where Jinkyu is. He is,
Dyer's bottom tower
that
has
mine does
fallen.
no damage. He is forced to farm the top lane instead of the jungle, which is being given back to the TV, but Faith Beyond, he's in trouble. Magnetized, reprocced. Erica gets the bash. He'll get the kill on a Faith Beyond.
Is under attack.
Taken out. And another one there for the Faceless, Void, and Vici.
Yeah, Vici doing a really good job of punishing the greed at the moment. Like, they understand nobody on LGD really wants to fight. Like, this Viper's not ready because he hasn't got his first item. Magnus really wants Blink to be able to fight. Techies is just shoving out waves. Like, TV's not going to fight.
Jinkyu, rolling death. Ame here with nothing to say. Old 11 gets sundered and nothing to say. Lays down the
Relocate,
Viper
though.
Strike. They've got the relocate. They maybe look to turn, but they've got 2 remote mines down. You need to be
Dyer's
careful
bottom tower is under attack.
about how you go in on this. And Vici will turn away. So they relocated. They'll bring the Void back bottom.
Oh, there's a mech on the Wisp as well. This is a good timing here for Vici if they can find these big 5-on-5s with the Chrono next time it's up. Roll through.
Going Boulder. Oh. Faith Beyond.
Nice, just
Skewer. Now the silence, Geomagnetic Grip. They've got the bashes. Erica, Sonic Wave. Faith Beyond can't
Chrono.
get the RP off. Now they're going to look over at Ame. They've got the Chrono. That's on to 3, technically. The right click's coming in, and, well, now they're going to look for more. They've taken out the Terror Blade. They'll take out this Venge. And Jinkyu survives. Nothing to say comes over. Who's got the new Rod of Atos? Viper Strike, Nether Toxin, Old 11, healed up via the mech. Blast off, Magnetize coming in, and Jinkyu, he drops. They're going to look for nothing to say. They'll land the Rolling Boulder, and everybody dead on the side of LGD. Vici with the 5k net worth lead, and they lose nobody. They keep it clean.
Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
they aren't just breaking the techies at the moment, they're smashing right through it. This is really impressive by Vici. But again, like we said, I think LGD's draft is really greedy, so they have to accept that they can't fight here early on, and they need to keep splitting the map up.
Dyer's middle
But they're
tower
6k
has
net worth
fallen.
behind in 13 minutes. This might be the worst position we've seen LGD in so far this tournament.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. The one thing I see that seems to be a theme, though, is when LGD make you pay when you don't have these big ults available to you. Not that I'm saying that's going to happen right here, but we'll certainly
how
see
do they
how
fight?
LGD react.
Like, they can't start fights. They have, like, level 1 swap, an RP with no blink.
Innocence. Out of Atos, relocate. They're going to have to walk away, or at least try to.
use on the
Duels
Viper.
onto the Viper. They've got the Chakram. Time walk forward. Faith Beyond. Skewer misses.
Radiant's bottom tower
And he just kind of whiffs on that. Shockwave pulls back PYW. They'll use the RP, but this is not really in offense. It's in defense. They lose nothing to say. Jinkyu comes in with the blast off, but he can't save his Viper. Hold 11. Oh, the
Oh, the right
mines.
Nice. Kill's a kill.
Faith Beyond on the run. Skewer back into more mines. And, oh! There's the combo with the Sonic Wave. It kills off Faith Beyond. They've got the magic missile to hit on the Queen of Pain. Mines. Oh my god, Jinkyu. He's doing work with this techies right now. It's just not enough work. As they'll finally shut him down and they'll take out Innocence.
Here comes
Lot
nothing
of
to say
room for
again,
Ame.
though. Dude, they're making so much space for the TV right now. He's like, oh my god, this is exactly what I needed. Please just keep fighting without me and somehow win them.
I can't believe it. That's,
Yeah, those mines were... The fact that Timber dies straight away at the start, though, like with those remote mines, is the biggest thing.
Radiant are scanned.
Because it means they can't, like, output the same amount of, like, burst, necessarily, on Vici to deal with, like, the other heroes.
And he's almost got Ags on the techies.
Oh, God. Okay. Oh, he's pretty farmed, to be fair, Jinkyu.
Well, he's helped get a bunch of kills.
A Chrono bot lane.
Oh no, bottom.
Oh, Ame.
Ame bashed. No Sunder. And no life. Meanwhile, Rod of Atos, another Toxin Shockwave, silence, so now he's forced to run away. The mines come in, but he's saved and
the
relocated
reload.
out. Erica is now in pretty deep. Innocence has a swap, but it won't really do much.
Yeah, they commit
Time
so
lock.
much there, and they.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Got the stasis trap. That locks up PYW. Radavetos coming through onto the timber. They still kill off Old 11. Overcommitment from Vici.
Yeah, I mean, Ori's taking the top tier 2, which is really good for Vici at the moment. Well, he's not taking it. He's trying. But every single fight that's gone well for Vici so far, they have been 5 the whole time, right? And if they've started to split up here like this, even like BYW rolling in through on the techies there while the timber comes back in the other side.
Magnetized, geomagnetic grip, PYW, forcing some pressure on a Nothing to Say, but can't do anything with it.
Yeah, no Sonic Wave for 5 seconds, unfortunately. First time, second time Axe on the Quop's going to be cool. Yule's Axe.
Yeah, different build from what we've been seeing.
This Terrorblade's just really struggling to find areas on the map that he can play around. They're 200 gold off the blink on the mag as well, which is a big timing for LGD. Because they can actually have that opening into the fight then that they can, you know, find the big RPs, find some skewer plays into mines. Because as much as Vici are up at the moment, I'm still going to go back to the point they have to go high ground at some point.
Yeah. Maybe they can take the high ground when they catch LGD. Just full team wipe again. But do they take buildings quickly enough?
Under attack.
They don't hit buildings massively quickly. I mean, they have the overcharge for damage with the Void. But it's not like as good as some other heroes that we've seen. Almost MKB though. On Erica.
Yeah.
Yo-yo.
And he's done this for the second time, Midas MKB. Now they're going to Roche. But Ori kills off Jinkyu, finds the Techies. Techies buys out on the Ags.
Yeah,
and Ags finished for Queen of Pain in just 60 gold.
I mean, this Roche doesn't change LGD's game plan though. It does mean that Vici can be a little bit more aggressive with taking tier 2 towers, potentially. But for LGD, they still don't really want to be taking fights. They want to keep splitting up the map as much as possible. So this Age is kind of like, well, we want to dodge them anyway, so...
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So 7k lead, Age is picked up. And it'll be here on the Void, who is just 500 gold away from picking up this this MKB.
Are fortified.
And there's the Ags for Ori.
He's really farmed.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. We expect this from Ori, and it's not like he had a bad game last game either. He really does get himself quite a lot of farm. Philosopher's Stone, DUI might be happy to take that. Shockwave. Now they've caught themselves the Earth Spirit. PYW drops down
really
the Magnetize,
tanky.
but the roll away in the Chrono swap. Nothing to Say, walks back into it, gets bashed up, Magnetized down. Do they have the damage? Nothing to Say, bashed again. There's another swap. Nothing to Say, continuing to survive. The Magic Missile, they'll take out the Aegis. They still kill off Nothing to Say. PYW gets the kill. They look over at Faith Beyond, who's on the run. Erica with the second life. Ame's come over. He's got himself Sunder available. They look over at Innocence. They'll take a second. Neither of them have buyback. Not important at this point in the game yet. But PYW, he dies to Faith Beyond, getting maybe a little bit too aggressive. Ame's still able to leave, though.
Can we just say how long it took them to try and kill PYW, even though he was the only hero there on Vici for a long time?
He's got a lot of armor and 2,000 health.
Yeah. He's going first item well, again, second item BKB. He already has a Veil. And we talk about how Jinkyu is greedy, but PYW's 4, 2, and 16. Like, he's taken part in so many fights. Mid lane, though.
RP, and they're looking for the skewer into the mines, and there it is. But do they have the damage? Viper's Strike, Timber Chain away. They didn't follow up with a blast off, so Old 11, he's gonna survive. They'll turn this around. They get the kill and Nothing to Say. LGD a little lazy on this, but Jinkyu blows up the mines and blows up the lives of Old 11 and PYW.
Oh my god.
Can never be too safe.
I didn't think we'd have a game that might be more back and forth than game one. But already after watching this game for 20 minutes, I'm like, oh, maybe we will.
And it's only, like, I will say it, I guess in context, it's only an 8K lead in this game, which doesn't feel like a lot.
It's a lot. It's
Does
a
it?
lot.
It doesn't feel, that fight, I guess, gets saved by the techie, so maybe I'm kind of being a little bit off on my opinion on that one.
The thing is, LGD are doing a really good job at the moment of playing around the techies and playing around the mine locations. So Vici aren't dictating where the fights happen. Because imagine if they just started pushing in top now and playing around top and fighting here. There'd be nothing set up for LGD. But Jinkyu keeps, like, placing mines down, and LGD are like, oh, we're just going to take a fight here. And they have so much damage output with this techie's Ags now.
middle tower is under attack.
Like, these remote mines do 600 damage at level 2.
And he's got
Each.
And he's got these ones hidden. Hidden away. They'll fight it around that once again. I mean, RP is available in 25 seconds. He didn't have the mana, I believe, to blast off after that, where they could have killed the Timber Saw immediately, but relocate, Vici. They look for Ame. They've got 4 Euros on the high ground.
They can't run in here, though. They know what the problem is. They're figuring it out. Like, guys, we can't fight exactly where LGD want us to fight.
Come get us! We're right here! Just how many steps?
Invisibility.
Please!
They really want to just swap skewer play here, I think. And you have to remember, they don't have the Aegis anymore on the Void either. He lost it in the last fight. Oh.
Blink RP. Oh, the Yules from Ori! But they've got the magic missile as well as the blast off too. They have the damage to Sonic Wave. It hits everybody on LGD! They look over at Ame. He dies before the Sunder. The mines are out, but they're not enough.
The mines!
follows afterwards, and they don't blow up the mines that Old 11 was just on. He's broken, but not killed. Nothing to say. Falls. The mines blow up. They don't do anything. Innocent's running. He's like, I've got mines here. Please. And they'll blow up, but it's Old 11, so he doesn't die.
Insane Sonic Wave by Ori, they like you said, because they almost killed off the Void there, but the mech comes through from DY, the Sonic Wave comes through to push them all away,
Dire's middle tower is
and then
under
this
attack.
opens up Tier 2. I don't know how much else they're going to be able to do with this, but, I mean, the Tier 2 and that fight is still a massive win for Vici.
That Yules from Ori was massive during the skewer.
Yes.
Dire's middle
It
tower is
keeps
under
it
attack.
keeps Erica from going to the other side of the river, potentially on mines, because I can't remember the setup off the top of my head, but I don't know if they were looking for the skewer and the
Dire's middle
swap
tower
on the
has
mines.
fallen.
And look at the KDAs at the moment on Vici. Ori's 9-0, 12. DY is 3-2 and 20.
Excuse me? 3-2-2-0?
And 20. Yeah. It's the upgraded 3-2-2.
Radiant's
happened
courier
10
has been
times.
killed.
So mines in the triangle now. Ame is getting close to the Scotty, but he hasn't exactly had a lot of time to like fight. He just dies in these fights so
Radiant's
quickly.
middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I thought he might consider going BKB, but the Skadi's really good this game as well. Especially with their game plan with LGD, they want to keep extending the game, right? So I don't think you want to go second item BKB in that case. And they need his damage output on the TB.
These fights are very one-sided without it. And all of a sudden, just like that, it's a 14,000 net worth lead advantage. I won't say it's as close as I think.
Oh, PYW's going to walk
certainly
up to the
not.
high ground.
Mines, RP, Faith Beyond didn't let it rip. They go after Jinkyu, trying to lead them around, but the BKB gets popped. The mines are out.
Faith
They won't
Beyond
kill
as
off
well.
anybody. Jinkyu ends up dead. They'll clean up some mines. They'll find Faith Beyond. 2 Euros dead again on the side of
Radiant's bottom tower is
LGD.
under attack.
Great BKB reveal by the Queen of Pain, though, because he instantly blinks in and they can't up here onto the mines because she's BKB'd.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, Innocence.
In trouble.
Dire's
Cut stun.
middle tower
11 and
is under
DYs
attack.
here. Swap. Now another swap.
Oh,
Okay.
nice smoke dodge.
And while
What's
that's happening, Viper's dead at the tier 3.
They just use Chrono, though. But I think this is the time here where you just start hitting the tier 3s because they're not ready and set up on LGD. This is what we were talking about. If you just run at them before they're ready to fight. Techie's mag back up again, though.
Yeah, but there's no mines in the base. They're just allowed to leave. Look at where Ori is in net worth. Look at what Void's got. It's not looking. They're held together by TB, but TB's got to be allowed to fight, and he hasn't really had that opportunity.
LGD have no way of coming back into this game apart from like pure execution in team fights with like RPs into mines and things. That's their only hope right now, and it's the only thing they can look to play around.
Does it come to a point where Techies just starts to mine the base?
Yeah, it might do at some point. But I don't think that's where they want to fight because it's so easy for Vici to know that that's where the mines are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you want to take them by surprise in a place that they don't expect. Skewer.
Skewer, and what else can they get? They look over at DY, Magic Missile, nothing to say. Coming over, pops the Blade Mail, Viper Strike, and the kill on a DY. Sonic Wave, though, blows up, nothing to say. They've got the Chakramon Innocence. They find Faith Beyond, Yule's up into the air thanks to Ori, and the chase is on.
He's going to have
was
Blink.
popped by Erica, and now, Faith Beyond Blink. Okay. Meanwhile, Ame.
What?
What?
I mean, to be fair, if he just pops BKB and cancels his TP with a rolling boulder, what does Ame do?
Yeah.
Like, there's literally nothing he can do.
He just took 2,000 damage from Earth Spirit. Wow. Wow.
And they're just going to head into the Roshan Vici. They want to play safe. You don't want to go high ground and against Techies unless you have this Aegis.
Radiant's courier.
Yeah, you want him to
Just
waste
fair
the mines, lose your first life, if it even comes to that, and then go again.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Roshan has fallen.
They take the Aegis. They're going to relocate and push in bottom. Take this last outer tower. So far ahead, it has gone
Dire's
from
bottom
8
tower
to
is
12
under attack.
to 22,000 net worth lead here for Vici. Trying to even up the series at one apiece, force at least 4 games.
Dire's
And
bottom tower
prove
has
to,
fallen.
I would say, everybody that, you know, maybe those odds are a little bit too favorable for LGD. Get the craggy coat. They're nearby. Jinq continuing to lay down some mines over mid, hoping that they'll come this way. They've also got Faith Beyond inside the trees, looking for an opportunity to go in with an RP. I wish I could see how many mines are there. I know it's quite a lot.
I think there's like 4 or 5, maybe?
Blink, RP, skewer back onto the mines. That's the Aegis, and almost all 11.
They used the cheese, though, as well.
They gave him the cheese. They look over at Innocence. They'll get the kill onto this Venge. Old 11 goes to the high ground, and with the RP as well as the mines, they take out Erica's first life. So how aggressive are Vici going to get the entire time still? Ame looking to farm. He's going into a Daedalus.
Yeah, they need damage. You can see, though, this puts a whole spanner in the works for Vici because they don't really want to go high ground without this Aegis because these mines are so scary. So even though you're 22k net worth up, it really just doesn't feel like it. Like, in terms of the pressure they can output into the base. Bot lane, relocate.
Okay, coming in. And they'll go after nothing to say. It throws the Viper Strike out. He's surviving for now, but with the Void and the Wisp showing up, nothing to say drops. He's got buyback. Mines.
They have no RP either here.
Magic Missile, relocate out. Erica leads the charge. Mines exploded. Chrono on a 2. Faith beyond not much he can do, except for throw out the Urals onto the Void. They get the kill on a Jinx. They use the Geomagnetic Rip to get the silence out onto the Venge. There's the Metamorphosis too. They have the damage with the breakout onto the Timber, so Timber chains away. They bought back on nothing to say. They look over at PYW, who rolling boulders down to the low ground. They've got the Magic Missile, looks for the Timber Chain, but he won't be able to land it. Now the right clicks come through, but here comes Ori. Damage.
Sonic Wave.
Is it enough? Sonic Wave on a day without Metamorphosis. They might just call it right here, right now. They've got the rolling boulder in. They've locked down Faith Beyond. They get the Cone of Innocence, and there's the GG. 31 minutes into the game. Vici, they have even this series, and it's one apiece.
Techies has been broken, guys. Do LGD want to pick it again? I don't know. There was so many cool things this game that happened for Vici, like towards the start of the game, that secured their laning stage.
Yeah.
First things first, we talked about how this Viper versus Quat matchup is Viper favored, which we saw as the lane went on. But that first blood from PYW, just starting mid, was a big deal. Like, it gives that Queen of Pain the relief for the first few creeps or so, at least.
Mm-hmm.